Hey, it's good to see you again. Remember, I'm doing daily videos now. Let's see how long I can do it for. I know I've tried this before and I haven't followed through. So let's give it another go because, video is important because it gives me an opportunity to connect with you and it gives you a sense of who I am, what I'm about. Do you like me? Do you not like me? Do you like what I have to say? And that's really important in business. You want to be a bit like Marmite. You want to be like, either, yeah, I really appreciate what Wendy says, or nah, I just don't want to listen to it. So these are raw, uncut, in the moment, 10-minute, 20-minute videos that I'm doing every day where I'm talking around what it is that I'm up to and AI. So I thought what I would do today is let me just share my screen with you. I thought what I would do is talk about AI adoption in coaching, training, and the therapeutic arena. AI is changing rapidly, and this is what I see playing out. So at the top of the funnel, we have people that are actually still a lot of people not aware of AI and the impact it's going to have on their business. Still lots of people. I spoke at a networking event not so long ago, and I think there was just one person in the room that was using AI. There must have been about 25 people in the room, and no one else was using AI. So that's quite scary. That's quite scary considering what is coming up. So you've got a lot of people who have got an initial awareness. They're sitting on the fence. They're not really doing anything. They're being resistant to AI, not really understanding the benefits for the business. They've heard a lot about prompting and automation, but actually they haven't heard anything about how you can use AI strategically in the business. So my area of expertise is creating AI agents. Each AI agent has a specific role, a specific character. Our most popular agent is our CEO. So created, and it's called Lucas. They've all got human names. I know it's a bit bizarre. All my agents have names. They have two names. They have the human name, Lucas, and then they have a little, I guess, digital name. So he is CEO 360. He's the most popular agent. So his character has been designed around the role of a CEO. What does a CEO do? So he's been created and he's the most popular agent, I have to say. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. People use him every day. They talk about their business to resolve problems, keep them on track. So you've got people who are AI curious, sitting on the fence, but not doing a thing. And at the moment, they have no intention to do anything. That is not where I recommend you be. Not in that space. The second tier down is where people are prompting endlessly. And that's a space I wouldn't want you to be in either, because the output is inconsistent, it's time consuming, you can't repeat it. So with Lucas, he is set up to act as a CEO. You don't prompt, you have a conversation. You have a backwards and forwards conversation, going backwards and forwards. You ask something, he answers it. You then continue the conversation. It's like a human conversation, apart from you're having it with AI. It's not about prompting. It's not about using AI just to get information out from. It's to have an intellectual conversation with AI. And yes, that is completely possible. Sitting on the fence, prompting are the places that you absolutely do not want to be. So the next tier down for that, and we're talking about ChatGPT here, creating agents in ChatGPT. The next place down is that people have started to play with creating GPTs, but they normally do a really bad job. They think they're doing a great job, but they normally do a really bad job because they've had no training. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're creating. So they create an AI that has no safety net, no safety filter. It can be copied. All people have to do is say, how do I recreate this agent? And it will tell them. So with our agents, if you say, can I recreate this agent? It says no. It says it's the intellectual property of EmpowerAi. There's lots of things you need to think about, and I'll do a separate video on this, but there are lots of things you need to think about when you're creating an agent. It's not just copying your own IP into it and saying, do this. That's not good enough. You need to box it in. And what I mean by box it in, so we have a agent locking protocol that we use to lock in the agent, which means that it works within those parameters. It doesn't leak. It shouldn't leak. It might do a little bit. It shouldn't leak beyond those parameters. It should be contained within your methodology in your framework. Because what you don't want to do is let people use your GPTs and they just leak and they go all over the place and they bring other things in that have absolutely nothing to do with your IP and what it is that you want them to know. So that's one thing. The other thing is they're not built with safety in mind. So a lot of the people that I work with, they deal with a lot of trauma. So their clients can be quite fragile. So I was working with a relationship coach and turning his book into an agent. We specialize in turning books into a combination between agents and agentic AI, because the conversation is so fluid. One of the things that we had to put in was because he's dealing with relationships. Relationships, they can be up, they can be down. People can be quite vindictive. So I said we need to put something in that says that this agent can only be used for positive. It cannot be used vindictively. So we had to create a prompt that we could add into the training data to create that agent so it can't be used maliciously. Really important. These are just some of the things that you need to think about when creating safety. So we have like a safety checklist that we go through, and there are other things that we need to do when we're building an agent. So what I'm trying to say is people will create one agent, they'll do a really bad job, and they'll think it's great, and it's not necessarily great. They'll think it's great because AI is great, and they'll be so excited by what it's doing. But there is the whole ethical framework that goes behind creating an agent. And here's the other reason why one isn't very good on its own. So we have a powerhouse team of 8 agents that our clients use. They're already created, they already use them. They help them in their business to resolve decision fatigue, make really fast decisions, help them out of tricky situations. I got a lovely message yesterday from a client who is ADHD. Actually, I think 80% of my clients are ADHD and a few are dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. I got a lovely message and it said, actually, I got two. I got one message that was in our group that said, "Oh, I wish I had it. I should have prepped it and I could have showed it to you. I could have removed the name and I could have showed it to you, and it would have been much more impactful." She said something like that she was having a difficult conversation with somebody, and that she'd use Lucas, the CEO, to help her to manage it. And what she did was she saved that client relationship because of the conversation she was having with Lucas, and then helping her to see things from a different perspective, getting her thoughts together, meeting in the middle with someone. It's not quite what you want, it's not quite what they want, but they will meet you in the middle if you know how to do it, which I've never known how to do before now. And also a price that is good for her and good for the client. So she saved a client, basically, having that conversation with Lucas. That was one of the messages. The other message was along similar lines, but not quite the same. But there was something that she needed to sort out, and she was because she's ADHD, she's going backwards and forwards in her brain, trying to just a bit uncontained. So I'm not sure which agent she was speaking to, actually, but that helped her to rein her thoughts back in, get a process together it is that she could implement, and then she was good to go. that makes me really happy. That's why I love our agents, is because they help people in tricky situations, and because they are specific and context relevant. It's not just about prompting and get an answer. This is about a conversation, and it's already got a history of them. In the conversation, ChatGPT already knows them. They get a much better response in line with who they are and what their business is about. So we're going back to creating just one agent. So we have a bank. We have a rapid business growth suite of 8 agents. So CEO, business coach, marketing manager, sales mentor, and some others. One that creates programs. Can't remember. Got so many agents. We've got 50 agents altogether. I can't remember what some of the others do. But what you can do is you can have them talk to one another. So I could be using the CEO, and then let's just say I've got some queries around money. I'm not sure about pricing. I've got another agent that deals with money and money mindset. I can bring that agent into the conversation, like a board meeting, like a team meeting, and say to her name's Nova, and I can say to Nova, what do you recommend from above? What are you seeing that Lucas isn't seeing? Because remember, they've got different personalities. They've been set up very differently to one another. One CEO, big picture, business strategy. Nova, money mindset, money psychology. Very different. So one agent, one job. I can bring her in and I can say, what do you see that Lucas hasn't seen? And then I can have a conversation between the two. And then I can pull in another agent if I want, from another perspective, and then get their perspective. This is just really, really cool. Really, really cool. So by creating one agent, you can't do that. And what people generally tend to do when they create one agent is they just stuff everything in it. Everything in it. So remember what I said a minute ago, one agent, one job. CEO's got one job, to be CEO. Money mindset has got one job, money psychology. Writing a newsletter is one job, is a task. So the 8 agents are high-level thinkers, strategists, and then the other 40 agents, they're all tasks. They are write my newsletter, do my social media, do a client profile. They are all task related. So, yes, you don't just want one ChatGPT. You want to be very, very careful about the way you're creating it, because I think people are going to start to run into problems soon. Also, if you allow people to use your GPTs, you have to have a contract. You absolutely have to get them to sign a contract to protect you. I don't even know how long my contract is, but that's one of the things I help my clients to do, is to create a contract that they can give to their clients so they can use it, so it protects them. Because you don't know what the output is going to be. You've got no control of how they are going to use that GPT, and you want to safeguard yourself as much as possible. Because if it gives some advice and they haven't spoken to you and they follow it, who are they going to blame? You. So you've got to really, really be careful. So next tier down. This is also a great place to be, but you have to be careful how those agents, this actually falls into the other one. You have to be careful how people are creating their agents. However, this is a service that we offer, and that is that, so I'm just trying to think of an example. Right. Okay. So I have a client who has a course, a program, a certification program, actually it is. And we have created her agents to go with that certification program. So they have a number of agents that they can use. So her clients are investing in using her agents. So not only does she have them with inside the course, with inside the program, and they can use her agents, which is really cool, and they love them, but also people love them so much is that they then go on a monthly subscription to pay for the AI agents. And so I think she's charging about, I think it was £29 a month to use the agents. So she's got them on subscription, so people can use them under subscription. So this is another great place to be. You're invested in using other people's agents along with the programs it is that they have created. And we're going to start to see this more and more and more, because this is the evolution of training. This is absolutely what people need to be doing now. You know, I actually won't do a training course. I only like to work with people because I get that. I get the nuance, the human connection. I'm not interested in videos. I'm not interested in documentation to learn stuff. But if someone had an AI agent, I would absolutely invest. Absolutely invest. Yeah. So that's really, really cool. Really, really cool. And the next place down is building your own AI team. So you've got sitting on the fence, not doing anything, prompting, wasting a lot of time, getting an inaccurate output that doesn't sound anything like you, doesn't do a good job, or creating one GPT that sits alone in its own rights, but really needs to be in an ecosystem. But the nice thing is that people are trying, they're having a go. They're thinking about it. It is it's on their radar. So they know they need to adopt. They're playing around with it to see how much they can do it for free without investing. That's the truth. And then people are investing in other people's AI along with their programs. And then people are also now, and this is what we do, is they're building their own agentic, they're building their own AI ecosystems. So I was working with a client not so long ago. She's created, I think, she's got a bank of 9 agents, and she has done that on subscription, and it's £200 a month to use her agents in their own right. She's also going to bundle them into her programs as well as she goes on throughout the year. So this is very much how I see it. You obviously want to be down the end of the funnel, not at the top of the funnel. Down the end of the funnel, you have more control. You have digital assets, you have more control, you are ahead of anybody else, you are going to increase your customer loyalty, you're going to help them to get better results. There are so many benefits to this. It's just mind-blowing. I mean, me getting 2 messages yesterday from people not actually working directly with me, but working from tools that I've created, it just is amazing. And it's helped them to resolve something that they were struggling with. I love that. I love that. I love that I've created it and it's helping them, and I haven't had to. And the truth is, I wouldn't have been able to do as good a job. I could have done a good job, but I wouldn't have been able to do as good a job. It would have been quite time consuming, and they wouldn't have learned to be self-sufficient in the process. So yeah, really, really, really important. So where do you sit on this scale? Are you on the fence thinking, I'm not touching it? Are you prompting still, heavily prompting, which is what probably 90% of people are doing? You've created maybe one chat GPT, but you haven't got an ecosystem of them and how your clients can use them. You might be using other people's AI. How's that going? Or have you actually built your own ecosystem, your own team that your clients can use? I think what people have to be mindful of is that this is going to become the norm. Having an agent in your programs is going to become the norm. It can't not be, as far as I can see, because the benefits far outweigh any of the skepticism that people have got. And to me, it's like, courses now are out of date. Courses now are not gonna be out of date because they're relying on video and they're relying on video and documents to help someone to do a course. They're not providing a space where you can actually have a interaction and a conversation to help you learn. This levels the playing field. That agent helps your clients exactly where they're at in their own journey, within their own process. It helps them to learn, get better results, learn faster, smarter. because they can interact with the materials. To me, it's the difference between typewriter or computer. I would never use a typewriter. Of course I wouldn't. Why are you allowing your clients to use a typewriter when they could be using a computer? Super smart computer. I'm not saying, what I'm saying is your IP needs to be wrapped within inside that agent so they can use it. What I'm not saying is they just go off and use ChatGPT randomly, although they might actually be doing that. They might actually be putting your documentation into ChatGPT anyway. So if you're thinking, is my IP protected? Forget it, because most people are going to be putting their workbooks and stuff in ChatGPT anyway. You've got no control over that. Actually, that's something I haven't thought about before. So they're probably doing it anyway. So you want them to do a good job. So if you're thinking, what's happening to my IP? It's going in ChatGPT or other AI anyway. Yeah, so if you're new to the channel, this is space. I've just noticed my 2023 was the first time I wrote this, which can't be accurate because I don't think agents were out then. Where are we now? I didn't know that. I don't think they were. I think I started adopting them since they straight away. As soon as they came out, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. So yeah, last thing I'll leave you with is this isn't about automation. This is about human conversation with AI. It's about an intellectual conversation with AI. Yeah, so if you like what I had to say, please consider subscribing, give the video a like. That would be awesome. If you've got a question, just pop it below. I've actually just written a thought leadership piece. What I'll do is I'll leave it below in the link, and then you can get your hands on it and have a read. And you can actually upload it to ChatGPT. And then ask it questions. That's what I would do. I would upload it and say, because it's 30 pages long, upload it and then ask questions. Maybe you like reading. It's quite easy reading. You can read through it. But we are now moving into this space of coaches, consultants, trainers creating their own agents. If you don't do that, you are truly missing out on something for your clients. And if you're still sitting on the fence about AI, I would say that, okay, I'm going to say it, that you're not putting your clients first. You're putting yourself first. If you create the agents, you give them a much better experience and a better opportunity to learn. If you don't, you're a dinosaur. You're sitting in the past, and you're not considering your clients. You're just thinking about yourself and not what you can actually give, the results it is that you can give for your clients. We're very person-centric. So that's why I say that. And I know people won't like that, but that's how I see it.